And first at 11, it's the 20th most destructive fire in the state's history. But here in Kern County, it's etched into the memories of many. The Erskine Fire will forever go down in history as the county's most damaging fire that took 2 lives and hundreds of homes. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Rochelle Murcia.
And I'm Dave Gonzalez. 5 years ago tonight, lives were changed forever. Hundreds of people forced to leave their homes as the Erskine Fire exploded in size. In just hours, it had burned through 5,000 acres, tripling in size 24 hours later.
And 5 years later, scars still exist in the hearts and the land of Lake Isabella community. Eyewitness News reporter David Kaplan was in the South Lake area today to see how the community is rebuilding.
5 years later, residents of Lake Isabella are still rebuilding from the aftermath of the destructive Erskine Fire. South Lake resident Edward Provost was in Lake Isabella on June 23rd, 2016.
We saw a big cloud coming over Lake Isabella, and of course we went on Facebook and saw the planes dropping the retardant along the mountain there.
They watched airplanes drop retardant and then tried to get home, but the neighborhoods were blocked off by officials.
We drove around the lake over to Hanning Flat, which is on the other side of the lake, and saw a giant mushroom cloud in South Lake, which is where our house.
Edward and his wife thought their house was gone, but a neighbor used his hose to stop the fire from spreading over their fence and 4 others on the block.
He decided to stay, and he got the hoses, and as the fire came up to the fence and started burning the 3rd house down, he actually went out and put out the fire along the fence line, and so it wouldn't come up any further.
The 47,000-acre fire burned over 300 homes and structures. 2 lives were lost. After a 6-month investigation, it was later learned the destructive Erskine fire was caused by an electrical line in a tree strung between 2 buildings. The total cost to fight the blaze was $23 million. Fred Clark, president for the Kern River Valley Chamber of Commerce, says since the fire, the chamber helped people by assisting them with FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency.
There's a number of homes that are set up, out in South Lake that were provided to those individuals by FEMA.
They brought in 19 FEMA houses and put those in here. And then I think there's been about 8 or 9 other mobiles that came back again. But other than that, there's still, all the lots are still empty.
The rebuilding continues.
What happened in Lake Isabella 5 years ago with the wildfires was devastating. But since then, we've seen this community come back together and rebuild and move forward.
Provost says he wants his neighborhood back as lot after lot still remains empty in his South Lake neighborhood. In Lake Isabella, David Kaplan, Eyewitness News.
Is there a story you think we should investigate? Call our Eyewitness News tip line at 869-2929.